Yeah, I think it has connected me, so hang on, let me just take a few people in. And, oh fucking arseholes. That's a bit of tool, isn't it?
Where are you, Nobby, you little bastard?
Oh yeah, he's another fucker and all, isn't he? He's called some shit, isn't he? Oh, another one where you thought he was alright. Oh, I'm live, so I better be careful. No, you don't want to do that, so you want to go back. Go back, and you want to tag people.
Yes, yes, yes. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just check my settings. Make sure my audio's on the right one. Let's just get my background up. Feeling very patriotic, are we all? Are we all feeling very patriotic? Jordan, I hope you're in the chat. I hope you get in the chat sometime. Good evening, Nathan. Good evening. Welcome to the show, guys. Unapologetic. My name's john.lawwrence, and I'm the leader of the National Housing Party United Kingdom, running in local elections. And I'm buzzing. The political landscape's changing. Last night, Jeremy Corbyn was in Oldham, and he's starting up your party. And both me and Pat agree that if your party stand and start running candidates, Labour are finished. And that's the Tories and Labour will be finished for good, which will open politics up to normal working class people, not the elites that we want, who are coming in. It's just more democratic, and it's the best way that I see things happening. So, you know, obviously Jeremy Corbyn is pro-Palestine, against Israel and all that. He's been called out in the media through anti-Semitism or whatever you want to call it. We don't believe in them words. We call them the deadly sins, or we call them buzzwords. That's what we do. Good evening, Lisa. Lisa's in the chat. She's done about 4 or 5 reboot courses, is it now, Lisa? Jackie Granner is in the chat, who's just done her first reboot course. And Jackie, it was an absolute honor to have you on the course, and I hope you see us again. Remember, guys, people say that we don't help veterans. Lisa in the chat, Lady General, is a veteran herself. And you can talk to her about the reboot program that we did through the camp. Obviously, we've had issues with Darren Edmondson, but we continued the reboot, and we're going to continue the reboot. We're on a break now till New Year, and then we want to be starting up another course. So if you're interested, get on to us. All it is 25 quid for a book. 5. She's done 5, and now Lisa is a co-host. And you'd understand that if you went on the course. So all it requires is about 3 hours a week online through Zoom meets, and 25 quid about for the booklet. We don't charge anything else. We don't charge like £60 for the session or the 13 weeks. We don't charge that. You just got to pay for the book, which got to be printed. And the book comes out. Just bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. Your field guide. You get your field guide. And there's all sorts in it. Let me just read one of the reboot truths. Reboot truth number 8. A person who doesn't know who they are will never become who they can be. And it is a pretty good course. And, you know, how have I got any set in this kind of course? Because, guys, I've done hundreds of courses like this over my life in different kinds of fields, not trauma, learning, management, and stuff like that. And this is a pretty good book, this, and I can safely say that. Remember, we did 2 years of streams, and every week I talked about the reboot, if people don't believe me. It obviously helps people, not just veterans. We've had civilians on. Ask Nick Wilson what it's like. He did 2 courses. Ask Ashley Yulton what it's like. Veteran from, I hate to say this, but he's a Bosnian veteran. And Bosnia, to me, is one of the worst things in wars that we've been involved in. And I've met a lot of people who've been to Bosnia who are really traumatic over it, you know. And well, anyway, that's what I'm going to say about that. But this is a reboot book. So 25 quid for the book, 3 hours a week of your time, and a bit of homework that takes 10 to 15 minutes. Now, we've had loads of people start and loads of people not even do 1 or 2 sessions of it. And that is pretty weak. That, and I'm not, you know, guys, I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to apologize. If you can't give us, no, this is free. This is free. You're not paying for it. There's other courses that you pay for that cost hundreds of pounds, guys. And this is free. This is free, except for the price of the book. But I'm not going to make any things. I'm unapologetic. And I want to tell you about Eddie Cooper. You might know him. Lots of you might know him on Facebook, Eddie Cooper. A complete idiot and numpty. He's a veteran, but I'm going to call him out. And he got in trouble with police. And we as a late night veteran show, Mitch, as our reboot coordinator, wrote him a letter to the police that he's going to start this course and he's going to do this course because he suffers from PTSD. Fair enough, yeah. Eddie didn't even fucking do any of the course, hardly. He just wasn't bothered, wasn't important enough. Then obviously he goes round attacking Jo at the camp and pulling her hair out. Eddie Cooper, you're a dick. Unapologetic, guys. If you got anything to say to me, say it to me face. Don't threaten me with violence because I'll get the police on you. Words aren't really too much hurty, but any threats of violence and I'll get the police. That's a committed thing now that I want to do. And it goes a bit further than that. There's other things that I want to go to the police for. I'm going to be going to counter-terrorism in the next week. Anyone who knows me knows I've had my run-ins with counter-terrorism through what I said at bottom of Leeds Crown Court, which would have got me locked up if I'd have said it at the same time as Southport. So they know me, they profiled me. I just want to be a local politician. I didn't start going on about the Quran and how old Aisha was. I didn't say anything like that. I didn't say anything about Mohammed. I said I wanted to support our communities and become a local councillor. That's what I said. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I am doing. Obviously, we've triggered a lot of people through having our conference at the camp this weekend. And we had a good friend of mine, Jayda Fransen. Now, let me tell you about mine and Jayda's relationship. Well, I don't mean relationship like that, but personal relationship. And how we are within the movement. Jayda was a bit of an icon of mine in 2011 when she first appeared on the scene. I did go to a couple of demos, a bit undercover, just watching from afar. And then I got the chance to speak to her after she got locked up and she got out, got a chance to speak to her. So I joined Britain First and then she left. Then obviously, if you know about Britain First, Paul Golding's on video saying he beat her up on video and someone else. That's a crux of it. And obviously, I support Jayda, and I always have done, and I know I've always been pretty loyal to her. And so I quit my time with Britain First. It's not that I didn't have a good time. I worked in Rowley Regis area with a guy called Paul Rudge, who ended up coming third in his election. And me and Sharon Workman and Paul Rudge, we did the back work in Rowley Regis. I went down about 7 times and I knocked on doors and talked to people, handed out our leaflets, and he came third in his election. And it surprised the council that much that the council went on an offensive against him, Paul Rudge. Now, nothing to do with the election, but Paul Rudge sadly passed away. But through that, it motivated me to get more involved and attempted to run in elections. So we had a day out with Jayda, Leicester, me, James Goddard, a couple of other people we know, and we talked to him. We videoed it. It's actually on my YouTube channel, and I've never not supported her. When she came to Newcastle, when she came back from abroad before she got arrested for something, I remember making a defence ring around her so the police couldn't take her, and that happened in Sunderland. There were a lot of people there. We did stuff like that, and I've met her several times already by then, and I consider her a good friend of mine. Now, you might not like her, but you know, one thing that, like, you know, like, if you don't like someone for a particular reason, now if it's a reason that's like, you know, like inexcusable, like they've killed someone, fair enough. You know what I mean? I get it. But if you just like someone, disagree with them because what, they were in a party or something once that you disagreed with, or, you know, like, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna fall out with someone because you don't like somebody who and their beef with you is nothing to do with me. Why should I get involved? The only thing I'll get involved is when people threaten each other, and it's my good friends, like the people at the camp. And you threaten them, you threaten me, and that's it. But you know, everyone knows that. But anyway, we had Jayda at the conference, guys. People didn't like it. People got triggered. The Glen Saffer mobile are all out to like do nasty things, you know, like me, you know, shut down this and shut down that, and that person's got to be shut down. Well, you're not shutting us down, and I'm unapologetic. If you don't like it, stuff it. You know what I mean? I know where I'm going. I'm running in local elections. I've got a positive attitude. I'm not going to be a sheep. I've got to get that sound of when the sheeps are running and that bell tinkles. I'm gonna see if I can research that up now. It's a good sound. Actually, it's our Joe at the camp who got me onto that. I will find it. I will find it. Unapologetic, guys. If you feel offended, tough titties. Oh, I found the perfect noise. I found the perfect noise. And it's got bars in as well. Right. While we're on the video, I'll try and get that noise. I will try and get that noise to 100%. Bear with me. Unapologetic, guys. I'll look at the chat in a minute. Let me see what we're on. Big Vinny's in the chat. Thank you very much, mate. Did I? Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, knowledge. Get rip. Mark Friendship, Mark Friend in the chat took Jayda to the train station. Thank you very much, Mark. Honestly, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm going to see if I can get Ravinder. Right, I need that. I need that. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. So yeah. So let me get a grip now. Let me get a grip. So we talked about, done a little bit about the reboot. Told you about that. How disappointing it is when people can't even like turn up or only do one session. It's just 3 hours. It's quite weak. And you know, like we're not gonna be apologizing for calling you out for it. And there's been plenty of people who've just done one, and some people aren't even turned up. And they just haven't took it serious enough. And all it is 3 hours and about 10 minutes homework a week. And people just can't even do that. Eddie Cooper never did it, and we even wrote him a letter. So I'm calling him out. Share this on Facebook. Talk to him yourself. If he denies it, he's lying. I can get 100 witnesses to account for that. And I'll see if I can find a copy of the letter, actually, that we sent to the police on his behalf. That's how much we're trying to support veterans, even though he's a nightmare. Even though he's a nightmare. Woo! Unapologetic tonight, anyway. So yeah, the party conference, we've had Jayda on. We also had Godfrey Bloom, Tank Regiment veteran, talking about NATO and wars and stuff like that. And I couldn't disagree with anything he said, and I've not heard him speak before. So we've had a fantastic weekend. Thank you, Joe and Dion and everyone at the camp. We met up with a group of activists there. I'm not going to say any names. A person I know who's been helped to get housing when he got kicked out of his hotel. He turned up, Jared. You'll see Jared a bit more. He's going to be coming to the camp with me separately, not with any groups of people. He's going to be coming to the camp with me, so you'll see Jared a little bit more. Jared's a civilian, but the thing was, got kicked out of a property. Migrants got moved in, and he had to wait 2 months before he got another property to live in. So he was second, and he's a British. He's born in England. You know what I mean? And he got a second. And we have give the hotel details on, and there has been a little bit of stuff done about this place. Not an hotel, bit more like an HMO, or it might have been an hotel, but small, not big. So we've got the information on it, and I've given it to the necessary people who need to know that information. So that's what I've done. And Mark Molland supported him until Jared got another place. And Jared, for that, Jared came down to the camp this weekend. So I've had a bit of time with him. So that's really good. Quite a few people there. Quite a few of us stayed. I managed to stay until Thursday. Got back yesterday, and then I went over to Jeremy Corbyn's meet that they were having in Oldham to do with his party, your party. And then I got talking to some of the local councillors in my area and the independent boss. Handed out some of my anti-Zionist leaflets, and I went home. But, you know, I want people to vote for me from every angle in Oldham. So I'm not just going to pick on white people to get voting for me. I want everyone to vote for me. We have common sense policies, and nothing's too extreme. Of course, we want to halt permanent settlement. That's fair enough. We don't need anybody else in this country. We've got enough people in the country now to run this country, to make this country great again. And that's what we want. So end permanent settlement. Tomorrow, I'll be at the Victoria Hotel. I'll be at the Victoria Hotel tomorrow. There's the second of the Saturday demos that they're going to hold there. I'm also taking my tannoy down, and I'll be speaking, and I'll be talking about the local councillors in that area. I'll be asking people why don't they see their councillors supporting them. Very few councillors say anything, and they certainly very few turn up at the protests, and very few will say anything to the council. But what I promise you, if I get made for a council, I will speak on these issues. I will speak on the migrants that we have here. I know we all like to call them illegal, but because of certain acts and conventions that we're in, such as the UN 1951 convention, when they get here, they can ask for asylum. We have to process them, so that they're not illegals. You know what I mean? They're not illegals, they're classed as illegals, but we need to exit the 1951 Refugee Convention. We've talked about this quite a few times, and you can easily view that convention up. But before that convention, people was criminalized and they wouldn't come on boats. But the boat people know that when they get over here, they can ask for asylum and get processed and get put into an hotel. There's no deterrent. There's nothing else. If we exit that convention, we then criminalize these people, and even if they use the ECHR or anything, they can't get out of it. They can't come to this country. So, you know, there's lots going on. So I'm at the Victoria Hotel tomorrow in Oldham. Big John with the first, when it first got took over, and let me just tell you about it. Let me just tell you about it. Tommy Trump's in the chat. Tommy Trump's in the chat. Tommy came down to the camp, and Jayda spoke well. And let me tell you what he said. He said, John, I thought that when you said you've got a headliner bigger than a Glastonbury headliner, you were just like clickbaiting. I wasn't clickbaiting. You know that, mate. You know that now. And if you look at a lot of my videos, when I've gone to court cases, I don't do nothing by half. So when I say we're going to do big things, more often than not, big things happen. But we're going to definitely 100% get Jayda there next year as well, and Godfrey. But we've got bigger names. Sorry, we've not got bigger names, but we've got some big names that I'm going to be asking to come to the camp to speak next year, because we're doing another conference 23rd of August. The camp's going to get pretty busy now for the next couple of years. If you want to support it, you can go through us. Go and find the camp page or anything like that. We haven't got a bank account. We're not going to have a bank account at the moment. There is a GoFundMe in Dion Drayson's name, so it's not going to any Darren Edmondson. It's not coming to me. It's not going to anyone who's outside of that camp. It's going to Dion Drayson, which is still active. But there is an address. If you want to send a food parcel to the camp, you can certainly do that. And I will type out actually the address a bit better, because I've not typed it out properly. That's the camp address. And I think there might be an email somewhere. Anyway, let's get a bit of media on. Let's get everyone's favourite Walter Mitty. Well, his second favourite Walter Mitty, but we'll get on to the Blair brothers another day. We will. I'm not going to forget.
Mark, I only know Alan Merritt because I was in Beachcombe in 1971. I was there for 2 years, and when I left there...
Hey, look at the buttons, look, I fought for this fucking country, right? I fought for this country. I'm a colour. I fought for this country. I can't get back. You're Nazis. You're Nazis. You're Nazis. My dad fought for this country. I fought for this country. I fought for this country. And this is what I'm getting. This is what I'm getting. All right?
Yes, everyone's favourite veteran. Walter Mitty. And just causing a lot of trouble. Never even been to the camp. Someone said something that I don't agree with, and that's the kind of thing that happens. And I don't doubt that Glen Saffer is part of why loads of people attack the camp. Now, again, you know, there's words or not. I haven't threatened anybody. But what I do promise you, if that you accuse people of rape or you threaten violence, then the police will be on you. And I've got people to hold me to that. I've picked 3 people who are close to me, and I've told them that if threats come, that's what I have to do, and they've got to make me do it. So you will be hearing off the police. If you threaten us with violence or you say you're going to burn anything down or anything, we just don't do that shit. I don't do that shit. I've never, ever, like, said that about anybody or anyone particular because I fell out with them or something. It's quite weak, actually, and pathetic of the brain of a human being that's what we resort to. Just listen, guys. I'm not going to apologize. Right? I'm just not going to apologize. And I'm sure Joe and Dion are okay with me talking like this because you're horrible people. You've said nasty things. That camp's been through loads. And let's get on to it, Jordan Tonkarellis. So when I put a bit of a video up that I had Jayda on, Jordan's commented. Now, Jordan is a teenage son of a veteran called Dave. And obviously, everyone's fell out with camp. So he likes to say things. So what did he say? He said there was weapons found on the camp and all that. There was never no weapons found on that camp, Jordan, which he knows already because he didn't put any links up to prove anything. But I didn't have to do anything. Ramo and some other people sorted him out. But I'm calling you out, Jordan. I'm calling you out. And I'll be honest. I just want to be honest with everyone. I'm due to go in to see counter-terrorism in Manchester. I have bumped into them before when they did a profile on me, but I'm sick of how they're treating us and how that camp is treated off like the Jewish Chronicle and the Good Law Society, Good Law Project, and former MP Simon Fell from Cumbria. I'm sick of it. I'm really sick of it. And you know, I've got my rights, so it's due that I'm going into counter-terrorism. So things like accusing us of having weapons or being caught with weapons at the camp is a pretty serious thing, I think, Jordan. And I'm tempted. I'm going to be telling counter-terrorism that there's people online saying that camp's been caught with weapons when there has never been any weapons. So I'm going to be telling them. And I'll leave it up to them if they want to investigate it further. So if you're going to carry on with that kind of shit, then I will push this more with the police and counter-terrorism. It's serious stuff, Jordan. Maybe you haven't been pulled in by counter-terrorism before, but Big John has. Big John's had his run-in with them. And Big John has told you how these like groups work, counter-terrorism and the police. How they bullied everyone into pleading guilty to do with Southport when they should have been pleading not guilty. How they influenced by intimidation and threats. So I know what these people are like. So carry on, people. Carry on. We've had accusations of rape, which we've challenged with the police. And now we've got people saying that weapons were found on the camp, which they weren't. There was an investigation and a raid on the camp costing thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not at least £1 million, and they found nothing to come. And we think that someone I'm going to tell you, I think it was Glen Saffer who started all that off to do with the camp getting raided. I'm just saying, I think it was Glen Saffer. And I've got a friend called Stephen Crane, and Stephen's been in a bit of trouble with the police, but he's got a high-powered air rifle. So he came to the camp, Stephen, but what he did, he got a permission and a certificate off the police to transport his high-powered pellet gun on the train to the camp for 2 weeks and then back. This is what he did to avoid any unnecessary things. So that's the kind of lengths we go to keep things straight and clean at the camp. I'm not going to go to anywhere if they're going to be like training people to fight a war or anything. I'm not just, that's not the camp. So that's what Stephen Crane did. And that was not long before the camp got raided. And, you know, like, they found nothing. So who's that £1 million comes out of Norton St. Phillips tax money. And what did Big John do? I went to the MP's hustings and I told all them councillors that they've got to pay £1 million for an operation that found nothing. Big John did that. At Norton St. Phillips, at Frome general election hustings. And I told the local councillors and other candidates for MP, but that's what I said, that me. So just watch out, people. Threats of violence, accusations of rape, and now people saying what we found with guns. It's all police stuff, really, to me. I'm not going to apologize. If you think that I'm being like out of order or like, you know, like a grass or anything, get over it. Get over it, right? Get over it. Because I'll be going to police. As a local councillor, I don't want to be a gangster shaking people's hand to do shady deals or anything like that. I just want to do things straight. Thank you, car park campers. Long time no see. Yes, Nathan. So, you know, I just want to do the right thing. And I don't want to be a gangster, because that's what we've got in the councils now. Oldham councils run by a cartel. It's run by a Pakistani cartel. Honestly, you couldn't make it up. So, unapologetic, guys. If you're feeling a bit offended or your arse woofing a bit because John's been on delicate lines, I'm not going to apologize. I'm really not. Like I said that at the beginning. I won't apologize. I'll only apologize if I haven't been bad enough on someone. So we've had Eddie Cooper up, who couldn't even do one full reboot course, and we wrote a letter for him to the courts saying that he's going to do this reboot course. Weak. A proper sheep. Obviously, Jordan Tonker Ellis thinks it's all right to go around accusing people of having firearms and things like that. It's quite serious, side. It really is, because it could be took very serious, especially if, like, we've had somebody at the camp who has had issues with firearms, but not at the camp, but in the past or something like that. So it can be pretty serious, that, Jordan. So, but we'll see. When I get into sea counter-terrorism, I'm definitely going to see them. I'll be talking about things like that. And I've got all the screenshots of what you said. So, you know, like, tough shit if counter-terrorism start knocking on your door. You know what I mean? I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. You brought this on. What you should have done is just shut your mouth and leave that camp alone. What I told you I'm going to be unapologetic, and I'm going to tell you I'm going to toe the line. Right. But enough more of that. Obviously, we've had Glen Saffer on, Eddie Cooper. At the beginning, we had Alan Merritt. And then we've had Jordan Tonker Ellis. I think I'll leave that for this week. We'll leave that. Also, I'm just so happy to see everyone getting involved in the flags. And it's really lifting my spirits. Don't listen to what they're saying, them buzzwords. Don't listen to the deadly sins. And the deadly sins are, you know, I believe that we have deadly sins right now that everyone uses. And them deadly sins are words like racist, bigot, homophobic, anti-Semitic, anti-Semitism, etc., etc. We have worked out that the 7 main ones, but no, there's plenty more than that, and we just don't want to. We don't believe in them. They don't mean anything. It's just a word used to silence people. But well, watch tomorrow. Watch my TikTok tomorrow. You tell me in any of my speeches if you think that they are. If I'm going down the deadly sin route, I'm sinning. You tell me tomorrow on my live stream from TikTok from the Victoria Hotel from 12. From 12, I'll be live. Now, bear with me 1 minute. Throat's a bit crinkly. I'm gonna get. Thank you, car park campers. I'm just gonna get a drink, guys. I'm just gonna get a drink. Yeah, oh, Tommy Trump, honestly, loved it at the camp. Thank you for coming down, mate. And you're welcome anytime. You're welcome anytime. I'm down, not next week, week after. But you're welcome anytime. Right, have I got any longer videos? What's that? Oh, yeah. We'll do another Alan Merritt special, yeah? Here we go.
Well, Mark, I only know Alan Merritt because I was in Beach Home in 1971. I was there for 2 years, and when I left there, they put me into a mental hospital at 13 years old. My mum got a barrister and got me released and got the social worker sacked. We're going back to 1973. I'm now 63 years old. Alan Merritt, he is a two-faced cunt. That man will side with anyone, whatever suits him at the time. He's not a genuine person. All the people that Alan's mixed up with, they're all nutcases. They're all crazy. I think that he buys them. I think he gives them money. When you see them going out to dinner, I think he pays for everything. His wife was called Kathy. Well, when Kathy died, Kathy's knees put up. While my aunt was in the hospice dying, that thing, Alan Merritt, was going up and down the motorway on his jolly way, going to all different demos. He drew all the money out of the bank and said all the gold was stolen. Now he's loaded with money from Kathy's death. He didn't give a shit about. Well, he wants to have it off with that Auntie Marie. He told me he wanted to lick her cunt out and fuck her and all that. He's a dirty old sod. He's only 5 years older than I am. Cancelled my subscription to Wake Up UK because Alan Merritt was running gay people down, and I'm a gay man, and so was Sue Peake. I've fallen out of her as well. Another woman called Jackie Lowry, this fat ugly thing. He was just really irritated me, Alan Merritt. I don't give a shit what happens to him. If somebody smashes his face in, it will serve him right. He's got too big-headed. He thinks he's John Wedger. He thinks he's a bloody journalist. He's no journalist. What? He comes from the same area that I come from, in Hammersmith, Shepherd's Bush in London. We come from exactly the same place. He comes from the slums. That's where he comes from. I know where he lives because I come from the same place. But I live in Christchurch in Dorset. I live near the sea. I've got a 2-bedroom house, but I have to pay bedroom tax. And also, Mark, if he really loved his wife, he wouldn't have been going to demos while his wife was dying in the hospice. He would have stayed by her side. But Alan Merritt, he thinks he knows it all, done it all. When he's with Tinkerbell and, Andy Marie, he's buying them and giving them all money. I'm sure of it. I'm sure that he buys people because he's loaded with money. Well, all I can say, Mark, is that Alan Merritt is fucking stupid. He gets himself involved with some really stupid people.
Alan Merritt, guys, I don't care what anyone says. I don't give 2 Fs what you say on Facebook. I got triggered. He was talking about my ex-dead girlfriend. You know what I mean? Honestly, the fucking arseholes, a lot of you lot. Honestly, it's just, And I'm still triggered over it. And I've struggled with this last reboot course. Lisa will tell you in the chat. Lisa, Lady General will tell you in the chat. I've so struggled, been angry, upset and everything. Honestly, who do you people think you are? Right? You right low-life scumbags. That's what you are. What you want to do is get involved a bit more in local elections and show your face and do the right thing, which I am definitely find my niche for. And I'm not going to apologise. I don't give a shit whose picture I've put up with Alan Merritt. It's tough titties. Get over it. Get over it. But, you know, I've never talked about anyone like that. I've never talked about anyone's family. I've never, like, blamed someone's brother or cousin. I don't do that. John don't do that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I'm like a regular human being. I'm not messed up like half of you numpties in the movement. Honestly, if you don't like me, don't follow me, delete me or block me. But don't stay on my page and start slagging me off, because I'll come after you. That's what I'll do. I'll come after you. And if you threaten me with violence or accuse me of doing something that I haven't done, then I'll fucking phone the police, you dickheads. Honestly, I don't know who half of you lot think you are. You're just weak behind the thing. If more of you had more sense, we wouldn't be in this mess. We won't be in this mess. You're just pathetic. Honestly, you're as bad as the left. You're as bad as the left. And, you know, I'm saying this to people who might think that the friends me. I'm saying it to you as well. There's only a few people, a couple of them are in this chat. Well, most in this chat now, who I'm not going to say that they're like that. But a lot of you know me well. You're like that. You're fucking sheep. You're a waste of time. You're not doing anything. And you've just got your priorities wrong. Just get over it. Unapologetic. Like I said, just leave me, unfollow me, block me, or whatever. But if I find you slagging me off and you're still my friend, I'm going to come for you. On social media, I'm going to call you out on video and call you an hypocrite. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call you an hypocrite. Right? Honestly. And there's loads of them. There's loads of them who are like that. So obviously we've had the party run. So Lee Shears, Antifa Public Watch, thought he might be a bit sensitive to the Arlene thing, but he started on Pat and started attacking Pat and the party. So this is coming from above him. It's probably coming from someone like Glen Saffer. Honestly, don't mess with us, you lot. Like I said, police or counter-terrorism. That's what I'm going to go to counter-terrorism within next week, I promise you. Before I get back to that camp, I'm going to go to them. And I'm just going to tell them what I think about things that people say about the camp and all that. I'm going to say I want it stopped. If you don't stop it, I'll continually go down to the police station. I'll continually speak about it. I'll continually put it on social media. I'll be outside the police station every week until you do something about it, because I haven't done anything wrong and neither has anyone at that camp. But I'm not going to apologize. Honestly, I don't give two shits if you feel offended. Fucking get offended. Get offended and block me if you don't want me on my Facebook. I've just had enough of you weak sheep. I've had enough of you. If half of you stood up and did the right thing, we won't be in this mess already. But you're more bothered about hanging around with your mates or whatever, telling little black lies to people about other people that you don't like. Fucking weak, honestly. Just so weak. Oh. It's awful, Antonella, and they are really nasty. And I'm not just going to blame Patriots. The left are the same. Dave said some things, actually. Thank you for bringing that up, Antonella. You just made me... I've got to write this down. I have got a couple of pictures of tweets where they're accusing me of doing, like, rioting. One tweet accuses me of rioting, and that's from the left. So I must make sure I take that to counter-terrorism when I go in. But thank you, Antonella. I'm just going to stop a minute, guys. I've got to write this down. I've got to take note of this. I really have. Just as bad. Just as bad as the left, some patriots are, or so-called patriots. Accusations. Of rioting. MEP tour. And, you know, like, what I should say, like, to counter terrorism, that I have to put up with that. Yeah, okay. I understand the just words. But, you know, like, I can't be thinking of my actions if they continue to do that and nothing's done about it or nothing's said. I can't be guilty of my actions after that. You know what I mean? And my actions means I might go more to social media. I might come face to face with these people. I might go and try and find out where they work. And I don't normally do that, guys. I don't do any of that. But, you know, and if they don't do something and then I do them kind of things, then that's them not doing nothing that's made me do them actions. I just want people to shut up, right, with false accusations and things like that. If you think you're going to get us on that, you know, and I'm so impressing on people who I know, like Joe and Dion, that we go to the police and we make it a police issue, get a crime number, and we continue to fight on these things, even though it's all stacked against us. What the police don't like, they don't like social media. They don't like it when you go to the mayor's question time. I've been to several dozen. I went to the MP hustings in Froome, sticking up for the camp. Me and Darren Edmondson went there. And, you know, I planned it and I wanted to. And I wanted to say things because people just don't know the truth. Anyway, it's unapologetic. If you feel offended, tough shit. Sorry for the X-rated words, but you know, sometimes it needs to be said to people before they wake up. So if you're on board with me, follow and like me stuff, please. If you're not on board with me, or you think I'm offending you, you're sticking up for Alan Merritt, the rent boy, then just unfollow me. Then you don't have to listen to me. But if I find out you're doing comments and you're still my friend and you're saying negative things, especially about like my ex-dead girlfriend, then you're going to be on Unapologetic Live. That's what you're going to be on Unapologetic Live. And I don't always get big views, but the videos are there. I can chop them up as well and put them on TikTok. I'll make you viral. I'll make you viral. Hands down promise. Big John doesn't talk shit and he gets on with it. And when I say that we're going to get a big guest on, we get a big guest on. 90% of the time, I'll follow through. Big John, Unapologetic. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Pat's there. Excellent conference at the camp. And we're going to do it again next year, guys. 23rd of August. Get your emails in. Get your place booked. We're going to do it. And we're going to get some top speakers up. I've just been thinking about it tonight. I had an hour. Did some messaging. And we're going to get some top speakers. And, you know, like, you know, I want to be good with everybody, right? And I'm even thinking of getting asking Piers Corbyn to speak, because I like the stuff that he says about the WWF and the WHO and climate change. I like all that. Now, he might be pro-Palestine, but, you know, like, just for one thing, yet there's three things that I like. That means I've got to dismiss the man. You know what I mean? I can have a talk with him. I like him. I've gone to his events and spoke. I went down to London, and spoke at one of his BBC events and did a little like unto speech. You know what I mean? And I wanted to, because he was saying a lot of the things that I agree with. So, you know, there's a good host of people we can get in, and I've already thought of some top people to get in. So that's a camp next year, guys. We're going to make it big, and we're going to make it big every year. We're going to have a summer conference at the camp. I know Pat really enjoyed it. So did Steph and Dave 101. Yes, Dave. I'll allow you to have a picture with Jayda. Won't I, Steph? So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Sorry it's a bit X-rated, but you know, like I've got a bit of thing on me tonight, and people are going on at us, but we're clean and crisp. We're not grifters. We want leaflets, actually. We need leaflets. Pat, how many candidates approximately have we got running in out or inner London next year? Can you tell me that? Or the next 2 years? The next 2 years. Come on, Pat, give me some info. The next 2 years, Pat, how many candidates roughly have we got running in London and inner and outer London? True, Mike, but you know, like we've got to think bigger. I go to the Mayor's question time, and honestly, I've said some X-rated stuff in them question times. I've shouted at the audience. I've given the police an hard time, and I said in my first one, I said, you police might as well be crooks and sex offenders. That's what I said to 2 chief constables. I won't be able to get away with that any other place, but I said it in a public meeting that was recorded. And these are the kind of things that I want to toe the line on. And it ended up with going to the Mayor's question time, having 3 meetings with Andy Burnham, 2 meetings online, 1 meeting at the GMCA offices with my friend Bernie. I never went down there slagging him off. I never went down protesting with a flag. I went down to support my friend who had an issue. And, you know, I didn't have to speak for her. She could speak herself. But I went down and I did that through a period of weeks and getting to go. So, you know, I want to go places other people haven't been. And I have seen more people speaking out the Mayor's question time after they heard me about sexual abuse and stuff like that. A guy, last one, accused an inspector. Honestly, accused an inspector in a Blackpool or something like that of being involved in a PDF ring, honestly. And you get to say that at the Mayor's question time. So that's how I want to interact with the police. And I've got to say, through going to the Mayor's question time, I got introduced to, I met Detective Chief Constable Terry Woods, and he's one of the Deputy Chief Constable Terry Woods of Grt Manchester. And, you know, like, he knows me. He knows who I am. He knows my name. I'm hoping he's looked at my record and all that. And I've met him at several question times. And, you know, it's not just brief. I've had good talks with him about teenage crime. I talked to him about. And the first question time were about vetting police and why do we get people like Wayne Couzens? There's dozens and dozens of police across the country who shouldn't be police because they haven't been vetted properly, or the vetting system has let them through. And that's an issue that I brought up at the Mayor's question time. So I think I've done fantastic there myself. I really do. I know, honestly, car park campers, you know, they're just so many people are like, you know, like the thing is, car park campers, let's say that me and you are pretty good. We met in the Patriot movement, and just let's say this is an example. Now, let's say you was pro-Israel, but I wasn't, and you know, I'm anti-Zionist. I wouldn't make that a big issue if that was the only issue that we disagreed on. I wouldn't make it a big issue with us. I wouldn't want to fall out with you over it. And I'd hoping that you wouldn't fall out with me. Like when the Big C came around, I never lectured people for not having a jab. And I never lectured people for having a jab. I just let them have their own decision and, you know, kept friends with these people. Some of them have come back to me and said, you know, like they made a big mistake. But, you know, I didn't ridicule them. I didn't ridicule them. And I said, you know, there's evidence coming out. Things weren't tested properly. It wasn't quick. It was too quick to come out. The companies that were involved had done bad things before. These are kind of things I said to them. But, you know, I wouldn't want us to fall out. Although, you know, I don't like even people who are Israeli. must see how the influence that they have in politics is what's causing a lot of stuff we have in this world. That's the thing I'm against, me. And that influence don't just come from Israel, China, the Gulf states. All these people, all these groups influence our politicians. And it shouldn't be like that. We shouldn't have any kind of influence from out of the UK to do with our politicians. Now, direct donations are banned, but you can give them gifts and stuff like that, and you can get them donated like through unions that they might get donations from abroad or something. But, you know, it's stuff like that. And that is what's causing a lot of the trouble we have now. Economically, China, they're very big in influence political decisions across Europe. You can Google it up and research it yourself, but European MEPs were under scrutiny for taking money on gifts from China so that China can get what they want. And that's why we was in the EU. That's why we was in you. All researchable stuff. Big John don't make things up. I tell you as it is. So thank you everyone in the chat. Unapologetic tonight, guys. Big John's on tour. I'm out tomorrow. I've got about what's going on here now? One sec, guys. Oh, there they are. There they are. There they are. So we're at the Victoria Hotel in Chadderton, Oldham tomorrow. I've got about 70 leaflets there, National Housing Party leaflets. And tomorrow, I want someone to step forward out of the crowd of protesters and run as a councillor for the National Housing Party. And I can do that tomorrow. And so watch me TikTok. I'll be live on TikTok. If you know Cozzy as well, if you know Cozzy, I've had him on the show. He'll be there. I think we've got TKE Media, Tony is going to be there as well. We'll probably have a few big YouTubers and TikTokers there tomorrow. But I'm going because it's in Oldham. Oldham, born and bred here. And wherever it is in Oldham, I will support residents, whichever area you're in. Whether I'm running in Hollywood or not, I'm already doing that with Dorothy Lord, Peter Brown, and various other people across different wards in Oldham. Obviously, I do a lot in Hollywood. But yeah, big shout out anyway tonight. Let's give some shout outs to heroes. Let's give some shout outs to heroes. Anyone who's running in the National Housing Party, Angela Kingston. Angela Kingston is an hero. Grimsby, she is an hero. Pat McGinnis is going to smash it in Camden. If you're in London, if you want to help Pat in Camden, get in contact with him. Actually, that's what we should be focusing on, guys. I'm going to switch off a little bit now. We need leaflets and we need support. If you want to get hold of Pat, that you can email the admin email there. I have got Pat's email somewhere. But yeah, we need help in London. So Camden area, certainly. Sutton, we need help there. So if you're up for it or you want to help deliver leaflets or anything, get in contact with us. Obviously, we need some donations, and there's a donation link. As a political party, we can't hide donations, and we don't hide donations. My YouTube is linked to the party bank account, so any kind of money I earn off YouTube goes straight into the party bank account. Pat will verify that. And I have said this quite a few times. So like my YouTube, comment on my videos, follow other people as well. Antonella, give Antonella a follow. She's in the chat. She does regular videos on a channel that she just set up. Give her a chat. Pat's on there as well. NHP UK press office. Give that a shout. Yeah, let's get Antonella up. Yeah, so Antonella's there. NHP UK press office. So yeah, Unapologetic, guys. Big John here. Victoria Hotel tomorrow, guys. Victoria Hotel, 12 o'clock every Saturday. I will be there tomorrow. Next Saturday, I'm not. The week after, I will be. I'll make as many as I can, but we're going back to camp next week, and I'm going out with veterans into Trowbridge, doing a bit of a second-hand stall and raising awareness for the camp. So that's on the 13th of September in Trowbridge. I'll be Union Jacked up. Oh, yeah, so let me just give you... So Jayda's turned up at Bath train station. Pat's messaged me, John, she's there. Right, I'll go back for her. So me and Vinny went back. And Big John's got his Union Jack tie, Union Jack hat on. And then Jayda, dead surprised when she seen me with Union Jack stuff on. We had to wait for Godfrey, so we did 30 minutes and went round to a cafe on front. All lefties looking at me. They didn't like that Union Jack. But yeah, I want to give a big shout out to Ravinder. I went down Bath and I met up with someone who's been following me for a few years, Ravinder and Clive. And I'm hoping to maybe get him to the camp for a couple of nights as soon as I can. But yeah, I went down. David Miles, big shout out to David Miles as well, who took me down there. Thank you very much, David. I'll message you. I'm going to message David after this. Hopefully he can come down next week. But so I went meeting someone in Bath, and you just wouldn't believe the tragedy of Ravinder's story. Honestly, I have told a couple of people, but not online. I'm not going to set anything online yet, but it's just horrible. And it's endemic of what our country is like now. And Ravinder's Rav, as she likes to be called, wants to tell a story, and she wants to tell it to me. So you'll hear more about that. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Phil up in Northeast in Stockton. I'm going to do a men's mental health sort of like video next week. I think we've dated it for the 12th. And Phil, yeah, the 12th. I'll probably be at the camp, but Phil does sings for mental health, men's mental health. So I'm going to be doing a stream with Phil next week. He's got a YouTube channel, and he's getting known locally in the Northeast. So that'll be coming up next week. But I will make sure there's a notification up for it, and you'll see something up. But thank you very much, guys. Honestly, thank you. Unapologetic. If you don't like it, tough. Be offended. Just remember a lot of the stuff that I said tonight. Just stop threatening us and accusing us of doing fake things. We're not going to have it. We're going to start. I want to start going and going like, I want to tell counter-terrorism, because it's wrong. Saying stuff like that could lead to more harm and stuff like that. And you think it's clever that you can say it on Facebook and not to my face. Weak. Fucking sheep. Bah. Bah. Anyway, this is Unapologetic. My name's John Lawrence. I'll see most of you soon, but I'll see you at 12, Victoria Hotel, Oldham. Good night.